Well, my name's Jack. I am in second year of uni and I go to the University of Plymouth.
My name is Rebecca Sexton. I'm in first year and I go to University of Essex.
My name's Kezia Speller. I'm in my second year university at the University of Plymouth.
My name is Rebecca. I go to the University of Westminster and I study film in my third year.
Pia Robinson, and I'm at Plymouth University Year 2.
Well, at the start, I didn't really believe it, to be honest, but then we went into lockdown. Didn't really think much would change, didn't think it would last for long, but here we are a year later.
It really took a while for it to sink in. Like, we were all just kind of like making jokes and stuff at first. Like, it didn't feel real at all. And then like once, it was like an overnight thing. Like the second like we all realised it was real, it was really scary. We'd literally been like out like night clubbing and stuff like a couple days before. And we were still like cracking jokes about it because it didn't feel real. And then once it did, I think we all just kind of felt a bit sad afterwards because like everything we've been looking forward to in that year, like all the events and like prom and everything, that was just completely out the window. Like one day we had that to look forward to and then it was just gone, and then we had to all go back home really suddenly, which was scary.
Well, I was at university at the time and I gradually kind of learned through the emails we'd got from the uni, and I wasn't specifically concerned about myself, but I was concerned at like the kind of alarming rate that it was spreading and how fast it was spreading, because it's quite ignorant in a sense, but like we saw on the news that something was happening in China and there was a horrible disease going around in China, and I was like, oh, that's so far away, that's not. And within like 2-3 weeks we were going into a national lockdown. It was such a kind of like apocalyptic feeling because we've never had anything like this in our generation. Like, you must go home and stay inside and never go, like, do not go out, which it was crazy. It was so overwhelming and stressful because no one had any answers either.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Well, actually, first of all, my family caught COVID over the Christmas period, so when I moved back for Christmas, I actually couldn't even move in with them. And then not long after moving back to uni after Christmas, me and all my housemates, we all caught COVID, so we had to isolate together. And it was kind of rough, to be honest, because when you're in uni, you don't have that immediate support bubble like your family. You just have to rely on, the 3 or 4 close friends you might have, like, don't live with you. But other than that, for 2 weeks, you kind of stuck. It was really hard, to be honest.
Yeah, so I did get COVID, but I actually managed to get it on my Christmas break at home, meaning that I started developing symptoms literally the day after I got home, and then after my isolation period, after that I went back. So it was my whole Christmas period I was like completely like ill. I remember at the time like I was quite excited to go home because with my course I really don't get breaks, so I was really excited to go home. And I also had my dissertation as well, which I had to write over the Christmas period. Also having COVID while dealing with that, and everyone else being on their Christmas break, including the teachers, I still felt really under the weather. And just doing having the dissertation is probably one of the most stressful points of university life. So having all of these things pile up together, it really didn't help with my uni work and ethic. I think especially in the kind of creative arts side of courses, it's so difficult to take into consideration how COVID can affect, especially us being on a film course. We literally couldn't do anything.
For first year, definitely, I'd say that that was my prime university experience. That's why I'm not even that upset about COVID and everything now and lockdown, because I feel like I've already done everything that I kind of wanted to do and I got that out the way, which is why I feel bad for uni students now, because clearly they're having a very different experience to what we had.
It really did not live up to my expectations. I thought it was going to be this amazing thing, and I can go out clubbing all the time, and I can actually go out with my mates and stuff like that. But right now, I'm living at home. I can't live on campus. They're not letting anyone else in right now. So like Corona's really messed it up. It's made my uni experience like the worst thing ever. It's like being back at college again. I hate it. And we couldn't do anything really. Like I had 2 classes in person and then they moved it back to online. So I haven't even been in for my lectures.
Well, for the first, I'd say like 6 months it did. And then lockdown, COVID, everything happened. I don't know, I don't think I'd ever expect uni to be like this. The first 6 months, exactly where I expected uni to be. The party and the work, everything was exactly how I thought. But now this is actually just crazy.
I don't really like it because, as I say, I'm more social, so I like face-to-face and you can read people better. Whereas on Zoom, like a lot in the seminars, a lot of people don't put cameras on, so it's just you in this lecture, which is really awkward.
Zoom's weird. I think, you know, especially if you're a new student, I think you'll really struggle with it. But for me, I'm pretty comfortable with everyone on my course, so I don't really mind talking on Zoom and stuff. It's just a really weird format. It's a bit awkward, and it's also hard to find the motivation to like go to your lessons and study and stuff when you're like your workspace is literally your bedroom. Like I find that was a really weird transition as well. But apart from that, it's not so bad.
So working online where there's no one there to motivate me, and there's no one there to kind of be like, come on, you can do this. It's like, why am I paying £9,250 per year to watch some online lectures that I could literally get off YouTube? They're so vague. I put in my availability, I changed it from every single day to only Saturdays, Sundays and Mondays because that's the only days I'll have free. And I put that in at the end of September. They accepted my availability at the end of February. So I've got a lecture on Friday at 1 and they've got me doing a 6 a.m. till 12, but they want me to come in early with my boyfriend. So 5 a.m. till 12. From 12 to 1, I have to do like my reading because I won't have any other chance to do it. So now I'm literally trying to log into my reading and it's not opening because there's too many people on it right now. So like the system's crashed.
I'd definitely say yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, definitely, because I haven't always had the best mental health, like, but there's been a lot more struggles due to COVID than I wouldn't have had if it didn't happen, like.
I do really struggle from social anxiety anyway, and this has always been a problem like throughout my life, and the feeling of like wanting to stay inside and not go out and not do things has always been a present thing with me. And I feel like having these lockdowns is almost like giving into those anxieties.
So I've just got back from work. It's been my first like few days back from a whole year off basically, and it's been really difficult to adjust. I feel so exhausted, like physically and mentally. I haven't been around this many people. Like the amount of people today that I've seen is more than I've seen in 365 days. Being around people gives me such anxiety now, and like I just feel unclean, which is a really bizarre feeling to have.
Yeah, I've got 2 credit cards, two overdrafts, and have no money ever, just again because of the deliveries, and I don't even know how I've spent so much money, but the student loan is nowhere near enough to support, especially during a pandemic.
Yeah, when we were isolated, it was actually really hard because couldn't go food shopping, so you had to buy takeaways. Everything was really expensive. You pay your mates for petrol to go do something for you or something, but we ran out of money a lot quicker than we usually would. But luckily, the uni actually did give us a grant, and I actually got £600 from the uni, which was incredibly helpful. It helped me pay my rent, and it just helped me get through like toiletries and groceries, everything like the essentials. Like it was really helpful. Basically, I think there's a couple of grants available right now from the uni, but I can't remember what it was called, but I think it was the COVID hardship grant. Basically, it was really easy to apply for. Basically, explained my whole situation, sent off some bank statements, and within like a couple of days, I received a phone call back saying, you're going to get £600. It was amazing.
I am excited. I have said a lot of negative things, but I am excited to not be in uni anymore and not be in education and just kind of go into the film industry. I am really excited about that. And to be honest, even though I will have those anxieties about kind of like social events, like just going to the pub, just going to meeting up with some friends like in their house, just like those things that we really took for granted before. Yeah. I think everyone will be so up for seeing each other, and so like I think the end of summer will be a very good summer.
I'm just looking forward to meeting people and going out and seeing new faces.
As a collective, we have to just all kind of pull through, because if you let it get to you, then, you know.
Okay, so some of my flatmates and I decided to just go into central London today because things are starting to open up. Yeah, it was just nice to go out and like not feel so... I feel like I'm slowly, like finally getting back into it. There wasn't that many people in the tube or like around, everything was socially distanced. So yeah, it was just nice to kind of feel like it felt like I was doing like a normal activity on a normal day.
I'm 20 years old and I feel like I'm sat here doing nothing, so I can't wait to come out of lockdown, go clubbing, go on holidays, just resume normal life, to be honest. Maybe even focus on uni properly again in the future.
Clubbing, being able to see my mates, actually being able to see my mates, go into lectures, have that university experience that I deserve. Like, I got good grades, I deserve the experience for the amount I'm paying. Go on holobobs, get my student holobobs, I need that. Going to Spain or something like that. Like, I don't know, just something that like a young person should be able to do.
I think everyone's just got to be nice to each other, everyone's got to stick together, because this won't last forever. Just got to stick through it. So, yeah.
Wow, we're nearly out of it now, so it's all good. Just keep going, got through the worst part. Yeah, just keep swimming.